Hello, 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 welcome. I'm very excited. My chart is out and it's kicking. So, today we're going to go through it very fast. So, every day is not the same. That's why the indicators and the charts cannot be adjusted every day on the same chart. So, before we start the risk warning, please read. And I will pose the following question. My chart, why range volume beats time bars? Because the range volume chart is independent of time, okay? It needs some force in order to create a bar, and these forces are range and volume. Otherwise, the bar will not be created. So you're not going to be wasting time on meaningless bars. So let's see the difference. On the left 1 hour chart, GBP USD, okay, on the right, my chart created, okay, with this beautiful baby, the engine, which is a service, and the indicator controlling the engine, and you can see the differences. Okay, it's much easier to spot consolidation, much easier to spot, look at this consolidation, much easier to spot springs. Look at the volume here. Can you see that down here? No. Much easier to see heavy volumes on specific locations, and this is on a pullback, which means these volumes are breaking down, they're buying, okay, and more buying down here and more buying down here. So much easier to see stuff because volume is nicely created, okay. But not only that, the indicators work better, all right. So we will create charts that fit the indicators and not the opposite. Not indicators try to fit a specific chart. So let's see the process. Very simple, very simple. Okay. Now this is the control. Okay, just focus on what I'm saying. You don't have to read all this stuff. It's very easy. There are two ways to create a chart. One, the first one is to pick your style. Is your style a scalper? Then you're gonna pick these bars with the many pluses. And on the right, before the balancing occurs, it shows you on where to start, where the chart creation will start, and we'll try to balance from there. So this R means range. So this chart will start from 2.2 pips range, okay? So as we go down, this is all the way down, the bar plus is low, almost like a daily chart. So you can pick directly your style, okay? You don't have to go through all this. Okay, let's say I'm a scalper, then we'll pick this one, the first one, and the second one, okay, which is 2.2 and 3.7 pips. Okay, then what I will do, I will click balance, okay, try to balance the chart. After balancing the chart, okay, after 3 passes, trying to balance the chart, or 5 passes, the more the better, this is all selectable, you will find the best indicator for this chart, which this indicator is just the start, because after the indicator is found, then you will click the fourth button, which is optimize the chart for that indicator. When this is done, okay, then the program will suggest you what indicators to use, and they are here. This is the advisor guide. So in this case, it's telling me you will use MFI as a trigger indicator and OBV as a confirmation indicator. The fit score is 89. It means how well this indicator fits on the chart, and from 0 to 100 is the score, and reliability, which is medium, which is how well the chart is balanced. Okay, now these are default indicators from MD5. All right, and then we'll do a ranking of other indicators that are built in. Okay, so MFI is the first, then it's waist wave with speed index, WSI, then it's waist wave with absorption with its 74. Also, it will rank the styles and tell you, but this is on deep scan, so I will go later on. So this is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And by clicking this, it will give you directions on how to trade with these indicators. On the left side is the guide to explain how this came out and what the numbers mean, and on the right side are the instructions. All right, so everything you need is here. Now that's one way, when you have already selected your style, okay? But if you want for the program to analyze all the styles, okay, and score them, rank them, and tell you which one is the best to trade for which indicator, then we're going to use the deep scan method. So what's the deep scan method? Okay, so instead of picking a style, okay, I will click on these buttons here. Let me put the laser, which says on. So with this on, it means that it's going to search for all the styles. If I don't want them all, for example, I'm not a daily bar trader, so I can take this off or this one off, and then I will click deep scan, and that's it. So the indicator and the engine will start doing all calculations to provide you with the best style, which in this case it was bars plus plus, the blue one, and the best indicators to use, MFI and OBV. Okay, the ranking of the indicators, okay, and the ranking of the styles. So if you don't want to use this style, you can go to bars with the 4 pluses, which has 82 score. So simple as that. And then also advisor guide, and we're back to instructions. Now, enough of this, okay, and let's do some live demo and show you also some actual trades that I did today and how I've done them. All right, so let me go to MD5, and I will start with a live demo how to create the chart. Now take a look at this. What I said, I will use the first method, which I will pick the style. So I will pick this bar style, which is a scalper. It's like 2.2 pips. I will just click on it, and the chart start generating. Okay, let's wait for the chart to generate. So by the way, on the line here, it's telling us what was the last scan we did and what did we do and the parameters we used, just in case we forget about the rest. This will be all on the manual. Let's look at the process. It's very simple. Okay, now it's creating the chart. It's almost finishing. It started from the 1st of April. So it finishes when this dot goes to gray. Okay, there we go, finished. So what next? Balance. So we'll balance the chart. It will go 3 passes on the same chart, trying to balance the range and the volume and to get a nice score. All right, let's see what it's going to do. So we are on pass number 1. Okay, All right. So it's creating. I don't mind taking some time if I know I'm going to trade efficiently. Okay, I'm not going to do this every 5 minutes. I'm going to do it before I trade. So we are going through pass 2 right now. Okay, and we got one more pass to go when it finishes this one. See, right now, let me explain to you, it's changing the ranges and the volumes to find the optimal balance. This is what it's doing. Okay, now we're going through pass 3. Pass 3 will be finished when we see this button going gray and the dot here going gray. So going through pass 3. Let's go, baby. We finished. So all passes were done and the balancing score is at 88%, which is okay, which is fine. Now let's find the indicator. I will just click find. Okay, and the indicators is suggesting for this specific style, it's MFI and accumulation distribution with a score of 85 and a medium reliability. All right, now let's optimize. Maybe we can get a bit better or suggested other indicators. This chart for this indicator, let's see. I will optimize. I will do 3 passes again. Okay. Pass 2. So it's trying to optimize for MFI, first of all. And now we're going through pass 3. As I said, the more passes the better. So if you can do 5 or 7, I think it's the optimal. Now, all right. So, finished. Okay. So the score is still, the chart it's adjusted, and the suggested indicators is MFI and accumulation distribution. All right. And the ranking also, if you don't have, for example, MFI, which is standard, for example, if you had Waves Wave to be the first one, but you do not own Waves Wave, it will rank the second one. In this case, MFI is the first one with 81 score, Waves Wave it's 80, and RSI it's with 72. So you can pick one of them. I will pick the best. Okay, and let me see, without putting any indicators, if I see anything strange on the chart or something that tells me that something is happening. Well, look at this. Let me just point out this, and then we're going to go live. Volume at a support level. What does this mean? Let me explain what does this mean. It means, since you see these bars being so high, higher than all the rest, which are almost flat, it means that we had volumes exceeding our threshold, but the price was not moving. So the price was not exceeding our threshold. All right? So this was buying, okay? It's very visible. But let's put our indicate. Oh, no, when I'm going to do this, I'm going to do a deep scan now, okay? And try to choose the best style and the best indicators, or what I call them a profile. So what I'll do, I will just press deep scan. Okay, and it will do everything. It will do all the styles except the last one, which I have it off. Now, until this finishes, let me show you some trades that I took today using this baby. Okay, so the first one was Euro USD, which was saying to me, okay, that you should use wave with SI as your indicator and MFI 14 as your confirmation. So the trade guide basically says, if I click it, it says, okay, use wave, read the complete wave with SI versus the average speed index, and judge effort versus result. To go long, you need a high SI on a down wave at support levels, okay, which means that selling effort has failed. And then you also need MFI to rise and hold above 50 or turning from 20 to 30. But you also need to break a support or a resistance level. So this is what I did, okay? This is my wave, okay? This is where I found out that there was an abnormal speed index number, okay, compared to the rest, 14.7. I included my MFI and said, where is the MFI turning? Right here, okay. So I got the speed index, I got the MFI turning going up. Are we getting ready for long? Maybe. So when am I going to be sure? When I break this level, okay. This was the previous level of this wave, and I went long here, okay. So from here to here, which is another resistance level, at 62 pips. Okay, that's how I did that. Let me show you also another trade, okay, which was GBP CAD today again, all right. So in this case, the deep scan was done, and it was suggesting, now suggest wave when I did it, because I ran it again, it was suggesting MFI and OBV, all right. So I did put MFI and OBV, all right, when it suggested that. And to trade MFI and OBV, the advisor says, okay, now, sorry, this is advisor for wave now, because this I ran it before. So it says basically, when MFI turns, okay, from high levels in order to go short, we're talking about, and OBV is going down, and you are breaking a level, then enter short. So OBV, MFI reached a very high level, it started turning, okay, but this was flat, so I did not enter, plus I did not break any support level, so I waited and waited, and then breaking the support level, I saw the situation, MFI was already down, okay, and OBV has already turned, so I entered short right here on the break, and that was 62 pips. Okay, now let's go back to the chart that we were creating, which was, I think it was EuroCAD. Okay, it's still doing, okay, what is it doing now? It's on the last pass of balancing and optimizing the indicator, so it's finalizing basically. So let's see what it will going to come out with. Okay, now it's optimizing. Now it has to run 3 optimizations. It was doing the balancing. All right, we gotta wait. What else can I tell you until this thing finishes? Of course, you can create your own chart by changing the range and the volume here, okay? Also selecting from which start date, and you can regenerate, and you can see the automatic balancing right here, the score, if it's good or bad, okay, and you can regenerate and regenerate it. But this it's painful, so that's why I did this all automatic stuff, starting with a specific style, okay, which is 2 pips, 3.5, 10 pips, 16 pips, 22, 30 pips. So if you are trading daily charts, you will go down to here, okay. So we finished, okay. The score, the fit is 84, and it's telling us to put waist wave with speed index, okay, and accumulation distribution indicator. Okay, let's assume I do not own waist wave with speed index, so my second option is MFI, so we'll just put MFI here, regular 14 period MFI, all right, and then I will just put what I'd say, accumulation distribution. Do I have it here? I don't. Let me get it. There we go. Let me put it to favorites and then accumulation distribution. Okay. So basically what it says as far as the advisor guide, which I already know, it's MFI should be turning from turning 30s or being above 50, but also accumulation distribution should be turning, okay, and also we should be breaking a level. So this is the level, all right. So what's the situation? We are holding above 50 and this is going up, so it was a long here on this break, a long here, and what was, let's see what's the measure from this long to here. It's 65 pips, okay, so this is it, people, okay, that's the baby. Let's do some damage, okay. I think with this thing your success rate will increase, all right. My chart. Thank you for watching.